13 tips on how to quit smoking fast coming up. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy, and this channel we give you health and wealth tips to help you be more successful. Now, I used to teach smoking cessation classes at the hospital for many years, and it gave me a lot of insight in the issues that come up when someone's trying to quit smoking. First off, it's very, very difficult. When I started thinking about it, I thought, we get THC from the marijuana plant, we get heroin from poppies, we get cocaine from the coca plant, and then we get nicotine from the tobacco plant. So it's actually just another way that we figured out to have fun with plants. And I've actually had many patients that have been able to quit methamphetamine or quit using cocaine, but they weren't able to stop using nicotine. And some of the research I've read have actually suggested that it's actually much more difficult to quit smoking than it is to quit some of these hard drugs. So tip number one, find your reason. You have to have a good reason of why you want to quit smoking. Because smoking, for people that smoke, is fun and it's relaxing. So you have to have a really good reason. So you have to tell yourself, okay, I don't want to die from lung cancer. I don't want to be short of breath all the time. I don't want to get my family sick with secondhand smoke. I'm tired of the walls of my house looking yellow. My car smelling like smoke and people not wanting to sit inside of my car. So come up with some reasons, whatever reasons are good for you, and focus in on that so you have something to motivate you. Tip number two, come up with a game plan. Before you quit smoking, decide how you're gonna go about it. Try a game plan, make some strategies, download some apps to your phone, talk to your doctor about some medications you can take, set up a plan of how you're gonna approach it. So that way, once you stop smoking, you're not like struggling, like, wow, what do I do now? Because once you stop smoking, it's addicting. So it's gonna kick in. You're gonna start going through withdrawals. You're gonna start wanting to smoke. So you have to come up with some ideas of how you're gonna head off those cravings once they start, because they're gonna start once you quit smoking. Tip number three, consider nicotine replacement therapy. So they have patches, they have gum, they have different stuff like that you can buy over the counter at the pharmacy. And for some patients, they work. I've even had patients that have tried, although I don't recommend it, they've tried chewing tobacco for a while and then they weaned off the chewing tobacco. So that's another strategy you could try, but you might end up getting addicted to the chewing tobacco. So best try them out and see which one works for you. Generally speaking, when I talk to patients, most of them have told me that these nicotine replacement therapies do not work for them. Although there are a small percentage that it does work for them. And I have had patients that it works. So try it out and see if it works for you. That's one strategy to try. Tip number four, learn about prescription drugs. Again, talk to your doctor, see what drugs you can try. They have some anti-anxiety medications you can use to help you with your concentration, with the depression, with a lot of the emotional symptoms that sometimes people go through after they quit smoking. And those medications can help you overcome those to help you be more successful with quitting. Tip number five, get in contact with some friends, with some family, let them know what you're gonna do. Build up a support network for yourself. Join some stop smoking groups for behavioral therapy. That really helps a lot. Joining in with other people and talking about things that help them smoke or stop smoking, and making sure that you have family to reach out to in case you're feeling really anxious. When you're feeling really anxious and you feel like you want to get back to smoking again. Tip number six, find some things to help you relax. So smoking is good, it helps people relax. When you smoke and that nicotine goes into your lungs, it goes straight into your bloodstream, straight to your brain. It has a calming effect. That's what a lot of people crave when they smoke and when they stop smoking. So develop some new strategies, get some massages, get yourself a hot tub, get a gym membership where you can go sit in the hot tub or swim, go in the steam room. All those things will help you relax. Listen to some classical music. Find other ways to help you relax when you're stressed. And if you know you're gonna be quitting smoking, Put off doing some stressful things in your life till later, till maybe a few weeks after. You don't want to get engaged in stressful situations when you're in the middle of quitting smoking. That can make it much more difficult for you and cause you to fail. Tip number 7, avoid triggers. So some people tie in smoking with alcohol or with coffee or things like that, or they smoke after a meal. So maybe cut back on the alcohol or switch to another alcoholic drink that you don't usually smoke with. Or if you drink coffee and you usually smoke with your coffee, maybe switch to tea for a few weeks. Because remember, a lot of this is psychological. So you're trying to break your psychological dependence also. And you have to attack some of the behaviors that lead you to smoking. So you want to avoid those triggers. If you normally smoke when you go to a nightclub, then avoid nightclubs for a little while. If you usually smoke after a meal, then after a meal, have some dessert, have some nuts, have something else instead. You need something to replace some of those behaviors. Otherwise, you're going to trigger it. It's going to happen again. Tip number 8, clean up your space. Smoke has a really strong odor to it. So if you've ever been inside someone's car, someone's home, it's really strong. So you want to get rid of that. If you're going to quit smoking, take your car to get cleaned, get it detailed if you have to, so you can get all that smoke smell out of there. In your house, wash all your linens, wash all your clothes, wash your curtains. If you have carpets, shampoo your carpets. You may even have to paint your walls, because I know some smokers, like my house when we were growing up, the walls were always orange and yellow from my mom smoking. So the only way to get rid of that is to put some heavy primer on it and then paint it, and that'll lock in the odor so it's not permeating. Also, open up all the windows in your car and in your house. That helps also to help it air out while you're cleaning it out. I know when we do our rentals or our property management, and people smoke in there, it's a disaster, because the place could be in perfect shape, but the smoke lingers. It gets into everything, so it's hard to get rid of it. So we usually open up all the windows and doors, and sometimes it could take a few days to get out of there. But again, if you've been smoking for a while in your car or in your house, it's gonna be penetrated and everything. So you're gonna have to do more than just open the windows. You're gonna have to give it a deep cleaning. Otherwise, that odor is gonna keep reminding you of smoking. It's gonna make you go right back to it. It's gonna trigger cravings inside of you. So you wanna get rid of that odor in all your clothing and all your personal belongings. Tip number 9, keep trying, don't give up. You know, sometimes you try to quit smoking, you're gonna fail. You're gonna go back to smoking. You know, don't give in. Just because you stopped and you started smoking, don't say, oh, I'm done, man, I can't quit. No, just, you know, smoke out, and then that's it. Start up again the next day or an hour later or whatever. I know with my mom, I tried for years to get her to quit, and I just couldn't. So I finally took her out of town. I took her on a cruise so I can get her away from her environment. Threw out all her cigarettes. She was on a boat for about a week, and it worked. We got back home, she stopped smoking for about 3 weeks. But then she saw my sister smoking and she got right back into it again. So then I took her on another cruise. She stopped smoking this time for like 6 months. Then she went back to smoking again. So I took her on another trip. I got her out of her environment, and then she just quit smoking for good. And I'd say it's probably been about 10 years now since she quit. So that really helped. So if you really, really want to quit, you know, you might need a change of environment. Go somewhere else, go away from your home environment, somewhere where it doesn't remind you of smoking. Tip number 10, start exercising. Studies show that people that exercise after stopping smoking helps cut down on cravings. Remember, when you exercise, it's a stimulant. It releases a lot of endorphins in your brain, so it has a stimulating effect, similar to what maybe the cigarettes might have. So that's going to help cut off a lot of those cravings. So, and it'll also help with weight gain. Some people, when they stop smoking, they gain a little weight because they're used to smoking and they have an oral fixation. So they start eating instead and they'll gain weight. So exercise is a good way to head that off as well. Tip number 11, prepare some snacks for yourself. As I mentioned, some people have an oral fixation and they're used to having something in their mouth. So get something to replace that. I know for my sister, she says that sesame seeds help her a lot. So she chews on sesame seeds She likes to get nuts that she has to crack and open up. And then eat a lot of crunchy fruits and vegetables because those are stimulating. It has a lot of proprioception. It gives you a lot of deep stimulation in your mouth. And it actually helps reduce a lot of those cravings from the cigarettes. So eat crunchy fruits and vegetables and nuts. Tip number 12, make it fun for yourself. Come up with some rewards for yourself when you get to the end. Remember, it's always good to have goals to look forward to. So tell yourself, hey man, I'm gonna stop smoking, I'm gonna save a lot. I know here in California, a pack of cigarettes can run up to $10 a pack. It's a fortune, it's a lot of money. So plan out what you're gonna do with all that extra money you're gonna save. Make some goals, maybe plan out a trip. You need to take yourself on a cruise or go do something that you always wanted to do so you have something to look forward to at the end of all this. Tip number 13, remember that time is on your side. So once you quit smoking, you're gonna have a lot more time with your loved ones, with your kids, to do the things you like. You're gonna be able to enjoy your life a lot better. Life is gonna get immediately better. They say within 20 minutes of stopping smoking, some of your vital signs of your body improve. I know a lot of the patients that we see, if they're smoking, they won't give them surgeries unless it's an absolute necessity. Smoking causes a lot of issues with your body. It replaces the oxygen that's coming into your bloodstream and also damages your lungs so that not as much oxygen is getting into your tissue. So it's gonna slow down wound healing. That's why a lot of times they avoid surgeries until someone stops smoking. But in general, you're gonna be kind of short of breath all the time. You're gonna be tired. You're not gonna be able to enjoy things as much anymore. So in general, your overall enjoyment of life is gonna improve after you stop smoking. And I just wanted to add this in as a bonus. One thing I learned from my smoking cessation groups with my patients is that the #1 strategy that they always told me worked the best out of drugs, out of nicotine patches, out of everything, is quitting cold turkey. Time and time again, everybody told me that. I had patients that were telling me they were trying to quit for 15, 20 years. They tried everything and nothing would work. And then they said, you just gotta suck it up, you just gotta quit. But obviously quitting and having a game plan is good. So make a game plan. If you can get away for a few days, as I mentioned, go out of town, just quit cold turkey, no patches, no medications, anything. And just let the nicotine get out of your body. And then another thing is you wanna make sure you're detoxing yourself. Drink lots of water, eat lots of fruits and vegetables. That's gonna help get that nicotine out of your body, cut the addiction, the cravings. If you ever been next to someone that smokes, the nicotine, that odor actually permeates through their skin. They smell their body odor. They can take a shower, they'll still smell like cigarettes. So it's permeated throughout their whole body. You wanna get rid of that. You wanna eat a lot of raw fruits and vegetables, drink lots of water with lemon. Detox yourself, get it out of your body so you can get rid of those cravings and go on to living a healthier life and be a lot more fulfilling. So from Baja, California, Puerto Peñasco, this is Ernesto from AttaBoyCowBoy. Thank you for watching, bye-bye.